Overwhelmed by the forces of House Wolffort, Esfrost's troops are scattered and driven from the Crown City. Glenbrook, at last, is free. Several days after this fateful battle, Queen Cordelia announces her intent to abdicate the throne and make way for another. Roland Glenbrook, his face no longer hidden from the world, will take his rightful place at the seat of power. With the prince's friends having only just finished grieving his death, and his enemies having only just finished toasting to it, this news shocks the foundations not only of Glenbrook, but of Nozelia itself. Prince Roland has proven his pedigree by storming the walls of Whiteholm and routing his enemies, delivering his sister to safety in the process. The prince becomes king, and condemns the schemes of Gustadolf, making known Esfrost's plot to usurp the throne. However, the people's reaction to this news is not quite a chorus of approval. It is plain that the ravages of war and the shame of subjugation have left an indelible mark on the once prosperous nation. Although the battle for Glenbrook is behind them, Serenoa and the rest of the city's liberators must make ready for a struggle of an entirely different sort.
Congratulations on returning to your rightful throne, King Roland. Ah, you returned. My friend, a word. Yes. I am honored to have had you by my side on this journey. To be able to call you friend. As am I, Roland.
Your Majesty, representatives from Hyzant have arrived.
We shan't make undue demands of your time, King Roland. We simply come to say farewell.
Without your aid, my people would still be under Esfrost's iron rule. Glenbrook owes you a debt of gratitude.
Consider the debt paid. The knowledge we gleaned of Elfric's capabilities was more than worth our troubles.
Indeed, it surpassed my every expectation. The Holy One is sure to be pleased with the results.
Your Majesty, can we trust you to lift the embargo and keep Esfrost subdued?
Of course. Lord Wolffort has promised his full cooperation in that regard.
Your Majesty, lest you misunderstand your friend's position, allow me to make one matter abundantly clear. Minister Serenoa is of the Saintly Seven. He is not to serve at your whims, but by the grace of the Hierophant.
I understand, but he is also a Lord of Glenbrook. More importantly, he is my friend. As such, I would ask for his assistance in the days ahead, as I have in days past.
Your Majesty, it is plain that the friendship between you two runs deep. However, the rules of politics are old and immutable.
And what does the Lord himself think of his new position?
Of course, I am grateful for the honor Hyzant has bestowed upon me. I will do all in my power to serve both the Hierophant and King Roland with all faithfulness.
In other words, the Hierophant does not have your full loyalty.
Well,
Glenbrook and Hyzant are to be two nations united in purpose. Surely it is reasonable that Lord Serenoa acts in service to both. Perhaps King Roland and the Hierophant should discuss my lord's role together.
You are right, of course. It is not our place to assume the goddess's intent.
Very well. I hope to meet with the Holy One as soon as my duties allow. I expect busy days ahead for you, Serenoa. Be prepared.
Certainly, Your Majesty.
Milo shall stay in Glenbrook for the time being. If there is aught she can assist you with, consider her at your complete disposal. Remember, Milo, that you are the symbol of friendship between our two nations.
But of course, I live to serve, Minister.
And with that, we shall take our leave.
May we meet again soon.
They leave us with a spy. It seems we still haven't won their trust entirely.
Whatever secrets they uncover will only attest to our commitment to the friendship between us.
Still, their actions speak volumes. Their aid has not come without expectation of just recompense. Already they seek to make Lord Serenoa their puppet.
But we need Hyzant's aid to crush Esfrost.
By the same token, we cannot resist Hyzant without Esfrost's might. And once Esfrost is laid low, Glenbrook will have served its purpose. What then would stop Hyzant from tightening their grip?
Just as they did with the Rosal. The injustice I saw at the source is not something I'll soon forget. If you require proof of Hyzant's true nature, you need only remember.
I know. This country is my home. Built by my father and the kings before him. Safeguarded by my sister and generations of my forebears. I will rebuild it. Restore its glory and its pride. We will not be treated as dogs at the end of a leash.
For now, we must look within. Only after that work is done should we look without.
Oh, it's you.
May we speak for a moment?
Of course, brother. My apologies. I'm so happy you're alive. It's just... I believed you dead for so long.
I understand. But hiding from the world was the only way.
You needn't explain. I don't blame you in the least.
Thank you. About General Avlora.
Avlora... She was
a servant of Esfrost. Our enemy.
I know.
And you know there was no room for mercy. Not if we wanted to win back Glenbrook. Not if I wanted to rescue you from Esfrost's clutches. However, I thought you deserved to know. She did have parting words. She asked me to protect you in her stead. It seems she cared for you, in her own way.
She did. She was harsh, but always kind.
Our scouts are yet searching for her, but her wounds were grave. I fear when we find her, she will... Cordelia, what's wrong?
I'm fine. I simply need to rest.
Fine. I think not. I'll call a healer.
No. This whole time, I've refused to show even a moment of weakness. It seems my efforts have taken a toll.
You did well, sister. Now you may relinquish your burdens. I'm here, and I won't leave you again. But please, visit the infirmary. Some bed rest will surely set both of our minds at ease.
Thank you. I'm glad to see your trials haven't stripped you of your kindness. Welcome home, brother.
So, the Crown City has fallen. I see. And what of General Avlora?
She fell into the Norzelia River and has not been seen since.
And my siblings, Thalos and Erica?
They died, fighting bravely in battle. My condolences, Your Grace.
I understand. I have fewer pieces on the board than ever now.
Pieces? Really is true what they say about him?
It seems I was wrong to think that Hyzant would remain idle. Or was my more grievous error to be taken in by the prince's false death? Regardless, I was a fool to show House Wolford any mercy.
Your Grace, reports from the battlefield tell of an unknown weapon being brought to bear against our forces.
Oh? Continue.
They say it sank one of our ships in a blast of purple.
Our iron, our pride, torn apart like sheets of parchment before a storm. We mustn't allow Hyzant to think they've won the upper hand. I intend to answer their weapon with one of my own.
After retaking Whiteholm Castle, Roland assumes the throne. Joy over the return of the line of Glenbrook sweeps the kingdom. Yet not everyone is quick to welcome Roland back with open arms. Life under Frosty rule treated them well, and they suspect him to be naught but a figurehead of a puppet regime. Roland's absence, it seems, made room for discord among his subjects to flourish.
So that is what happened in my absence.
Yes. Gustadolf was a clever ruler. After the invasion, Patriot and his royalists cozied up to Espros in order to protect themselves. Gustadolf used them to his every advantage. He stripped them of their privileges and left them nothing but their governing responsibilities. I don't think Patriot much cared for that, but it did ensure everything continued smoothly, without interrupting the people's lives.
Now I understand why there was little unrest after the occupation began.
A clean, effective takeover by a well-seasoned commander.
But all the while, he was preparing to face the next conflict.
Wait, does he intend to march on Hyzant next?
I believe so. I wish I could be more specific. But the Goddess's shield cannot protect the Holy State's capital from Esfrost. Not anymore. He said it will all be over once the death snell is ready.
What is this death snell?
A new weapon born from the coupling of his frosty ironworking and explosive projectiles. Thalos claimed it is powerful enough to break through the Goddess's shield.
To think Esfrost is capable of creating such a monstrosity.
So much for their reign of peace. Taking over Glenbrook was only the first move in a bigger gambit to seize the source.
I am disturbed to learn of Gustadolf's plan. But rebuilding our capital must take priority.
Very well. We should investigate the extent of the damage and discuss how best to proceed from there. House Wolfort will lend whatever aid you need.
Thank you, Serenoa. But since you are one of their Saintly Seven now, I'd ask you to keep an eye on Hyzant as well.
Cordelia? Apologies. A brief spell of dizziness.
I have been looking everywhere for you, Your Highness.
Patriot.
I do not recall giving you leave of the infirmary. Your injuries are still healing. Would you undo all the trouble I went through to get you the best of care? Pray, return to the infirmary at once.
It wouldn't do to push yourself, Cordelia. Rest now. Leave everything to me.
All right.
We got a pretty good understanding of the damage in the capital, my lord. It's a tad more than we were expecting.
I see. Then we must make haste with repairs. Let's report this to Hyzant and see what aid they can give us. Was there anything of note besides damage?
There ain't an easy way of putting this, but not everyone's exactly pleased to hear Prince Roland's return. Esfrost exempted Glenbrook's subjects from the salt tax. Likely a bid to get in everyone's good graces. A damn good one at that. But more than that, the so-called freedom Gustadolf brought to the kingdom seems to have made a splash. He threw out the old ways and made it so anyone could better their lot in life depending on their ability, instead of their birthright.
Just as in Esfrost.
Then the people must have looked quite favorably upon Gustadolf's rule.
I wager folks ain't too pleased to see us, since they figure it means things will go back to how they used to be.
Roland surmised as much. We must do something to show the people his is a return worth celebrating.
Anna, have you looked into the state of affairs in the castle?
Yes. The head of the Royalists, Minister Patriot, is extending his influence. He made quite the name for himself, even under Gustadolf. Though he seems eager enough to support King Roland, he was just as eager to serve the Archduke. I do not believe we can trust him.
Distinguished members of House Wolfort, how hard you are all working to rebuild our capital. What a delightful thing to see.
Minister, you do us a great honor visiting us out of all the many other responsibilities that must vie for your attention.
Oh, come now, do not think yourself so insignificant. The entire kingdom owes you its thanks, myself included, of course. We are so grateful for House Wolfort's aid, even though you now serve a different master.
We are only doing what any of King Roland's loyal vassals would.
Speaking of the king, I'm afraid we've a bit of a problem. His Majesty seems to be entertaining thoughts of retaliating against Esfrost. But the people have had their fill of war, and I'm sure you're already aware the people look upon the royal line with disfavor. I only beg you take every care going forward.
A warning.
Even so, there is naught we can do but focus on rebuilding.
Indeed. Let us return to the king and apprise him of our progress.
I would walk the city with Sheila a bit longer and speak with the people.
As you wish. But this is not the capital you knew. Be careful, my love.
There are more who accepted Esfrost's rule than I imagined.
Glenbrook's history is long. Yet, that is why hierarchy and precedent hold sway. This is a stubborn land, my lady, not given to easy change. Though Archduke Gustadolf, acting in the name of freedom, granted privilege after privilege to the powerful. For people used to Glenbrook's rigid customs, I suppose that sort of change must have been too seductive to resist.
Perhaps, but his freedom was naught but greed and cruelty.
Lady Frederica, I've been searching everywhere for you.
A Wolffort messenger! Did you run all this way? What's happened?
My lady, I hail from Castle Wolffort, bearing tidings of Lord Simo.
Has he awakened?
He has. He is in high spirits and recovering well. He is most pleased to hear of the capital's recapture. He bids you visit Castle Wolffort so he can honor you himself.
Oh, I must bring these glad tidings to Serenoa at once. How long it has been since I've seen him smile.
There is one more bit of news I have for you, my lady, but it is not so happy.
Is there some sort of trouble in the Wolffort domain?
Bandits are laying waste to the Rosellan village. To our shame, Castle Wolffort does not have enough soldiers to stop this. We would beg Lord Serenoa's wisdom in this matter.
The enemy must be powerful indeed. We cannot leave the Rosellan village defenseless.
Let us inform the others. Messenger, with us.
Well, well. Things are about to get interesting.
The coronation ceremony. Certainly there are more important matters to focus on right now.
A coronation is important to assuage the people's fears and restore their faith, besides which it is the royalists' most fervent wish. A kingdom is only truly as strong as people believe it to be, and right now the world believes Glenbrook weak. The ceremony will be a display to the contrary.
Is this truly the remedy our situation calls for? Right now, I imagine the people care only for where their next hot meal will come from.
Rest assured, sire, House Wolffort will see your subjects shan't go hungry. But trust me when I say nothing will hasten Glenbrook's return to her former glory so much as announcing the return of Regna's rightful heir. To win your subjects' hearts, you need do nothing but ascend to your position upon the throne.
You mean sit my royal backside on a fancy chair?
In a manner of speaking. A king's duty is first and foremost serving as his kingdom's symbol. You needn't trouble yourself with day-to-day governance. We will assume that burden. After all, you have only just been crowned.
There will be no ceremony. The people will tell us what they need, and you will listen to them, Patriot. That is my command.
As you wish, King Roland.
How fare things, Huette? Have the relief supplies been given to those who need it?
Well, we had received a sizable shipment of goods from Hyzant, but there are complaints. It seems very few of those goods have made it into the hands of the people.
And why is that?
We aren't certain, though apparently Patriot and the Royalists involve themselves with the distribution.
Damn those Royalists! They cannot be left to their own devices.
Thank you all for helping to determine the extent of the damage to the capital. This information will be invaluable as we proceed with reconstruction. There is also happy word from Castle Wolfort. My Lord Father is awake. They say he is recovering apace and is already up and walking.
Those are glad tidings indeed.
He says he would like to see us and hear of all that has passed while he was taken ill.
Then what are we waiting for? I'll saddle the horses.
Would that we could depart at once, but the messenger brought another piece of news.
Bandits plague the outskirts of the Rosellan village.
Jerome and his folk are there. They can handle a few mangy thieves, surely.
Not according to the messenger. The bandits are proving a formidable foe.
Which is why they have asked us for aid.
Apologies for my tardiness. It's sudden, I know, but I must ask you a favor.
What is it?
I suspect Patriot and his royalists of filching relief supplies.
We've no proof it's them, but the fact remains. The people in most need of those goods are not receiving them.
The matter warrants investigating at the very least, and I would ask for Wolfort's assistance.
I see. Well, we were just discussing what we ought to do next. Allow me to explain the 3 courses of action before us. 1. Return to Castle Wolfort as my Lord Father requests. 2. Defend the Rosellan village from bandits. Or 3. Remain in the capital to investigate the royalists.
Lord Simon has recovered. What splendid news. If I could only go to him myself and thank him for all House Wolfort has done. But I cannot leave the capital in the throes of a possible scandal. Too many hold the royal family in contempt as it is.
That may be the case, but now that Lord Simon has awoken, someone must make sure he is healthy and apprise him of recent events. I would go to Castle Wolfort, Lord Serenoa, if it pleases you.
My heart breaks for the Rosellan village. Let me go to its defense, even if I must go alone.
I cannot allow that. It's far too dangerous a task for one person.
Well, I would have the Wolfort soldiers with me, of course. Besides, do you recall our first meeting?
Of course I do. You were being assailed by rogues at the port.
If you hadn't been there, who knows what would have become of me. But I am not as weak now as I was then. I am stronger, enough that I shall bring no dishonor to House Wolfort's name. My lord, have faith in me. Let me do this.
Very well.
It seems best that Benedict, Frederica, and I each attend to these pressing matters, separately.
Indeed, but the rest of us cannot be in 3 places at once. We can only choose one path to take. Bring the scales of conviction.
Serenoa says, I cannot help but feel restless. We reclaimed the Crown City and have already begun restoration efforts. There should be no question as to what needs to be done here, and yet something has me unsettled. I have to keep these saves updated because I'm going for the golden ending in this. But there's a character I want to go back and unlock, so trying to keep all my pathways open.
Lord Serenoa.
Anna says, we finally managed to rout the Esfrosty forces from the capital, but it seems our busy days are not over yet. We must decide which issue is most important, and we need to go home. For 2 reasons. To recruit Milo, and to keep on the golden ending track, because that's the last ending I need. Anna says you would have us return to Wolfort. I say, if we go to Wolfort, Milo is likely to follow, and it's best for us to keep an eye on her. Anna says, after reclaiming the capital, House Wolfort gained more acclaim than even the Holy State had anticipated. There is a chance Milo has been given orders by Hyzant to investigate the domain. We mustn't leave her to her own devices. It would be wise to keep a close eye on her. I understand your concerns for our home, and yet... Anna is deep in thought. Benedict says, as the steward of House Wolfort, it's my duty to let Lord Simone know what happened while he was ill. Eridor says, the Crown City is finally back in Glenbrook's hands, but our work is far from over. Where do you think we should go from here? We're gonna check out Daddy. Eridor says, I should have seen that one coming, so why Wolfort, eh? I would say... My father just regained consciousness. Don't you want to see him too? Eridor says, of course I do. I near burst into tears when I heard that he was back on his feet. I want to go back home and see him as soon as possible and tell him about all your exploits. To be honest, I think going back to Wolfort is what's best for us right now. Cool. Frederica says, if the rumors of bandits are true, then Jerome and the others might be in danger. I must go to the village and see how my people are faring. Frederica has chosen her path.
Yes?
Gila says, things are slowly settling down in the capital. Right now would be the perfect time to pay the Rosellan village a visit. The rumors of bandits are clearly troubling her. Perhaps you could put her mind at ease. I say I wish to return home and tell father of our victory. Gila says, you wish to return, my lord. I bring up the same piece about Milo. Gila says, do you think Hyzant is scheming something? Serenoa says, I'm one of the 7 now. I do not think they mean us any harm, but it would be wise for us not to let our guard down. Gila says, but of course, we are still unbelievers. It would serve us well to be vigilant of the Holy State's movements, and having Milo close might shed some light on their intentions.
I require some time to think.
Gila says, I understand your concerns for your home. If that were our only issue, the decision would be an easy one. Alas. ... Hugh Jet says, we may have freed the capital from S. Frosty's clutches, but there's still so much work to be done. As a member of the King's Guard, I would prefer to stay here and help unify the city. I'm just gonna say the same thing. Hugh Jet says, you wish to return to Wolfort. I'm just gonna say, now that he is king, Roland must resolve matters in the capital himself. Only he can unite his people and restore Glenbrook to its former glory. Huguette says, I see, so you believe he must be the one to bring the royalists to justice and regain the people's trust. Even I can see that dissent among the citizens. But as you have said, it may be necessary to leave things entirely in his hands to allow him to establish himself as king. I see now why you would return to the Wolfort domain. And he's just... oh yeah. Roland says, I'll remain here in the capital, but you needn't worry about me. You must decide where you need to be, friend. Roland has already chosen his fucking path. Aha, secret shit. Alrighty, Rue.
It is time to cast our votes. We have 3 options before us. Return to the Wolfort domain, depart to the Rosellan village, or stay in the capital. Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready. The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen. The way forward is decided. We return to the Wolfort domain with Benedict, and inform Father that we have reclaimed the capital. I must return to the Wolfort domain. to my father's side.
Lord Simon will be most pleased to see you, I am certain.
Of course. Fulfill your duty to your father. I shall see to things in the capital.
And I shall attend to the Rosellan village. Please give Lord Simo my best.
Oh, Lord Serenoa, you are returning home? What perfect timing. I was thinking of heading to the Wolfort domain myself. Might I accompany you?
Milo, how'd you sneak into the castle?
Oh, let's just say I have my ways. You might find the companionship of such a capable woman a boon on the road.
I know not what her aims are, my lord, but I do know she will be easier to watch by your side.
Indeed. All right, Milo, you may come. But you'll be put to work for the household. Understood?
Of course, my lord.
Then this is farewell for now. King Roland, Frederica, until our reunion in the capital.
With the capital once more under their control, the members of House Wolffort disperse to the various corners of the domain. Roland, for his part, works to rid the Crown City of his political enemies. Frederica repairs to the Rosellan village. Serenoa, Benedict, and the others, meanwhile, make a triumphant return to Castle Wolffort, where Lord Simon eagerly awaits their arrival.
Hark! The young rulers have returned.
You're back! You're back! You made it!
Show some respect, lad. They've driven Esfrost from our lands and brought the kingdom back from the brink. And one of them is no less than one of Hyzant's saintly 7.
Dare I say, an achievement greater than Lord Simon ending the Salt Iron War. Fills me with pride enough to think I've done it myself.
I'm sorry, Mr. Lord... King? I didn't mean it.
You've done nothing wrong. Address me as you please. I thank you one and all for your efforts in seeing us through to victory.
You are too gracious, my lord.
As is the Hierophant, who saw fit to bless us with a boatload of salt. And all thanks to you, Lord Serenoa.
The Hierophant, you say?
Wow! That's amazing!
Isn't it just? Bold is the nation that besmirches House Wolfort's honor now.
I reckon not even the king himself would speak ill of us now.
Course not. It was this lad what made that mask-wearing coward of a prince the king.
All hail House Wolfort.
All hail Mr. Lord!
Serenoa is truly a man of the people.
And he's got the might to defend him. He's earned their trust.
And so he may as well be king. I must say I do appreciate a powerful man. Perhaps I should cast my lot in with the future rather than the past.
The cowardly prince they refer to is King Roland, no doubt.
Familiarity breeds contempt.
I pray that's all it is. Hyzant's overtures are most bold. They mean to lure us in.
Lord Svarog, you've been summoned to the capital with regard to the death snow. How long do you intend to defy the Archduke's orders?
I've no time for his trifling inquiries, now that Glenbrook has been wrested from our hold. I fear an assault on the duchy is imminent. We must fortify Twins Gate.
Such an order would be mine to give, not yours.
Be gone! I was a fool to think you could protect the duchy's lands.
The Archduke shall render his judgment.
Damn his judgment, and everything it has wrought! Leaving that fool Thalis in charge of Glenbrook brought this upon us.
I shall pass your words on to him, then.
See that you do, messenger boy. And let him know that if he wishes for me to follow his orders, he will speak the truth, and nothing but.
Once proud Esfrost has been laid low, and Prince Roland installed as King of Glenbrook. Perhaps now they understand how powerful we are.
There is yet more good news. We have coaxed enough power from the Elfric to power the automaton.
Oh, have the spoils of war ever been so great?
A question House Wolfort no doubt asks themselves. Are you not troubled by their gains? The people of Glenbrook rally around their newly returned hero as we speak. I fear we have unwittingly created an enemy to rival Esfrost, or worse.
Which is precisely why I have sent Milo to watch their every move. We shall be informed of any plots against us in due course.
And you are content to trust this, Milo?
What does it matter if I trust her? The goddess shall render final judgment to any and all traitors.
Be they spies, or one of the Saintly Seven.
Indeed. May we never live to witness such a tragedy.
How fares my father?
He is most lucid, my lord, though asleep at the moment. I fear the malady has sapped much of his strength.
I see.
To It's not all doom and gloom, though. Word of your recent exploits lifted his spirits considerably. He cannot wait to hold a feast and praise you before the entire house.
Ha! May he forget he said that upon waking.
You should accept the honor with grace, my lord. He is your father, after all.
I would gladly accept, of course. Even hearing secondhand that he takes pride in my efforts threatens to swell my head.
The young lord has reclaimed Glenbrook, Lady Destra. He fought as valiantly as Simon or Regna. Would you were here to witness it.
Forgive me, Benedict.
No, forgive me, Lord Serenella. I shall take my leave.
Nonsense. You are the reason I stand here today, and I would tell Mother that myself. I bid you stay.
How very gracious of you. I owe much to Lord Simon and Lady Destra. They filled my life with purpose. They left you in my charge. But you have already demonstrated your power for all the realm to see. You now walk on your own 2 feet. I have no doubt you can lead Norzelia into a glorious new era of peace and prosperity, with King Roland by your side.
Speak frankly, Benedict. What is it you wish to say?
I have done all I can for you, Lord Serenella. I will resign following the evening's festivities. Anna shall take my place if it pleases you.
You would leave me unmoored at a time like this?
I know the time is not ideal, but your father is not long for this world. I would repay my debt to him by caring for him in his final days. After that, I shall stand watch over their eternal resting place and regale them with tales of your great deeds.
I see there shall be no swaying you. My gratitude for you flows like the mighty Norzelia River. Even so, I would ask for a moment more to make up my mind.
Understood, my lord. Then let us return to the castle and prepare for the evening's feast.
This is quite the gathering.
Each and every one of them eager to get to know you better to advance their own ends. Be on your guard.
I shouldn't think that would be necessary. Father has gathered those he trusts most to lend me their aid. For that, I am grateful. Whatever the case, we mustn't keep them waiting.
I thank you kindly for the invitation, Lord Serenella. Or shall I address you as Glenbrook's savior?
Ha! You needn't go that far. No.
I disagree. Your accomplishments speak for themselves. power becomes you. It makes you alluring to people such as myself. Pray, let me accompany you for the evening and beyond.
I shall need a moment to consider your most gracious offer.
It's a thing of beauty when they grow up. Hey, Benedict?
It is, and yet it can leave one feeling strangely bereft.
Aye. Well, that's fatherhood for you.
Sarah Noah says, as House Lord, I should greet our guests. The soldier says, House Wolford's devotion to the crown knows no bounds. It's an honor to be in your presence. I hope that Glenbrook can continue relying on both you and Minister Patriot in the years to come. The soldier says, Lord Simone said he would be coming to tonight's banquet. He should be here any moment. Money, 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 money. Money. And more money. Patriot says, Good evening, Lord Wolfort, and my sincerest congratulations on your accomplishments. Sarah Noah says, Thank you, Minister Patriot, but I could not have achieved any of it without my vassals or soldiers. Patriot says, in any case, I'm deeply honored that you would come to greet me personally. Is there something on your mind? I say, I heard you thrived under the Duchy's rule. I'm curious as to where your alliance lies. Patriot says, You wound me, my lord. I did nothing but support Princess Cordelia, as I always have as a royalist. But now that you are one of the Saintly Seven, does that change your feelings towards the crown? Sarah Noah says, No, I may be a saint now, but I am still a Wolfort and a lord of a high house. My loyalty to the royal family remains the same. Patriot says, It pleases me to hear you say so, my lord. Let us work together to see King Roland's reign prosper. Thought I saw a sparkle bit. Alright. Thought I saw a couple things. Oh, it's probably this. A panacea pellet. The noble says, Lord Serenoa, it's an honor to meet the savior of the kingdom. Rumors of your great deeds have reached even my ears. I take it your vassals are getting their well-deserved rest. Milo says, I'm surprised to see how loved House Wolfort is by its people. Perhaps there will come a day when I address you as something greater than a lord. Huguette says, I am still in awe that Minister Patriot would dare show his face around here. It is only a matter of time before King Roland exposes the royalist crimes in the capital. Benedict says, word of Lord Simone's recovery has lifted the people's spirits. Word that everyone were rejoicing. While people throughout the kingdom are singing your praises, there are others who despise your sudden rise to prominence. Now that we have reclaimed the crown city, what would you do next? I say, let's give people some time to rest. They've earned it. And I doubt another battle's coming. I know one's coming. Benedict says, we've driven back the Duchy's main forces. I doubt they have the strength to retaliate at the moment. Serenoa says, which is why now may be our best time to rest. Still, I know we mustn't let our guard down. Benedict says, I concur. It's vital for our people and soldiers to recover their strength so that they may be better prepared for whatever comes next. Eridor says, once your father gets here, why not keep him company? I'm sure he'd be overjoyed to have you beside him. The merchant says, to tell the truth, I'm a little worried about doing business in the Crown City. The nobles do nothing but quarrel and hold each other back, maybe in a bid to line their own pockets. I feel much safer working here in Wolfort. The soldier says, it's been some time since the castle felt so alive. I got so absorbed in the moment I even forgot that I was on duty. Anna says, I'm honored to serve a lord so beloved by his people. The subject says, we can live our lives in peace thanks to you. Whiteholm Castle was reclaimed thanks to you. I doubt King Roland could have accomplished that on his own. The merchant says, I heard about your battle at Whiteholm. I should have expected no less as one of the Saintly Seven. I look forward to seeing what you can do for our great goddess. I think that was everybody. Let's just see what happens now.
Lord Simon lives!
Haven't seen him in ages. He looks well. Thank the stars.
Let me take your hand.
I can manage on my own, my boy. I've not felt this good in some time. But I shall want you by my side the rest of the evening, that I may hear of your exploits in full.
Nothing would make me happier, Father.
I thank you all for gathering to celebrate with me House Wolfort's victories. Against all odds, my son and his stalwart allies have reclaimed the Kingdom of Glenbrook. I felt a great weight lifted from my shoulders as I watched him grow into a worthy heir. I dare say I've never been so proud. Permit me the indulgence of offering a toast to my son, my pride and...
Anna!
Huh?
Father!
Assassins.
Hard effort grants a boon.
Eyes on me, Father. Steady yourself.
Let my guard down. But it takes more than that. To fell Simone Walford.
Then more you shall have. Not today.
Thank you, Milo. Save your breath. We're not rid of the assassins.
Kill them, Milo.
Gladly.
Kill them all. We shan't have a chance like this again. Patriot! What are you...
You traitorous cur!
Understood.
The Wolforts are a blight upon this land. A blight I will see cleansed.
Your treachery ends here, Patriot! On my house's honor, I swear!
We must bring this conflict to a close. Lord Simon is in no condition to fight.
Patriot and his ilk must die. Keep my father alive at all costs.
My time is now.
My turn.
What a beauty!
I'm in your debt.
Victory is within reach for life. Sound strike.
Whatever it takes. Let's do
I can
this!
feel it!
You've done enough damage. You're holding Glenbrook back, Wolfort. Time to strike! March!
I shan't hold back.
It ends!
You're open.
Now what to do? Like that must have hurt.
I shall try my level best. We must stay vigilant.
Behold true power. I must put an end to this bloodshed.
You are so naive.
Death from above!
Yeah!
To lead, I must grow.
I'll show you what I can do. Ready to see the spell? I did it!
After me? Are you?
I can do this! Stay with us!
I stand ready.
Painful, wasn't it?
Impossible!
A wasted effort.
You've done enough damage. Don't you underestimate me.
Orders?
Sound strike. Allow me sound strike.
Strike while the iron's hot.
We can do
Watch
this!
me work.
I shan't hold back.
It ends!
That's it? My turn. Let me return the favor.
I shall try my level best.
Here goes. That must have hurt.
Curses! Now I end this!
After me? Oh,
Yeah. You've done enough damage!
Here I come! Wind! My turn now. I'm here for you!
I'm just getting started.
My work bears fruit.
We must tread carefully.
together we stand!
Too easy.
I'll take it from here.
I shall try my level best. We must stay vigilant for the future of House Wolford.
We must tread carefully.
Victory is within reach! Victory is within reach!
Prepare yourself! On it!
Strike true, my arrow! Magnificent! Curses!
Shall we dance? Take it!
That must have hurt.
Very well.
After me? Oh, are you?
A wasted effort.
I can do this! I'll do what I feel blessed! Yes, very good! I'll show you what I can do!
Ready to see a spell.
Time to take action. This is far
Watch
from
me
over.
work.
This isn't good.
On guard! It's sad.
I see a path to victory. A brief rest. Splendid. Look carefully. This shall do.
The heavens judge you! Heavens,
That's a big
grant us
help.
your blessings! New power overflows within me!
Curses! I'll make this quick.
I pray this was not my only chance to destroy them. I shan't make the mistake of underestimating them again.
Strike while the iron's hot.
Let's play. Think you can catch me? Ever more lovely.
After me? Oh, are
I
you?
won't hold you back. Here I come.
This isn't good.
On guard!
This is unpleasant.
All by my design.
I see a path to victory. You were overconfident.
Was my sword ever so heavy? Age is a persistent foe. Ah! Ah!
Be strong, father. I shall get you treatment at once.
Serenoa, please. If I must go, at least it was alongside you, on the battlefield.
Enough of this talk. You will yet live.
I've seen scores of soldiers perish, my son. Death comes for us all. Does it not, dear Benedict?
Forgive me, my lord. I could not keep you safe.
I beg you, give the three of us a moment together.
As you wish. Eridor?
Aye.
The Wolferts are as dangerous as I feared. They must be wiped out for the good of all Glenbrook.
There is no escape, Patriot. Tell me why a royalist like you would attack Lord Simon.
Yes. Why would you threaten to tear asunder a newly restored Glenbrook?
Restored? Restored to what? The Duchy killed your king and controls your land, and you've what, exactly? The collected ashes of the royal family? Those who joined the Duchy thrived. Those who resisted were ground beneath their heel. The nobles and commoners have never been further apart, though beneath it all, they are bound not by the king's memory, but greed.
Perhaps, but we can unite them behind King Roland.
The weakest link of them all. The prince, who forsook his family, a ruler in nothing but name if the people speak true. The Wolford reputation stains him, and it shall be his undoing.
So that's your angle.
Enough slander.
You're blind to it, admit it. You rebuffed the Esfrosti army, curried favor with the Saintly Seven, protected Roland, and immediately installed him as king. You think yourselves above the high houses of Glenbrook, nay, above His Majesty himself. Who would not want to rid themselves of such a stain?
You suggest King Roland gave the order?
Would he possess such rationality? We would not be in this mess if he did. Thus I decided to intervene. For the good of the kingdom.
So we need only kill you. That is a mercy.
Only Benedict and I know what I'm about to tell you. I bid you listen well and remain calm. I am not your father, at least not by birth. You are the blood of our former King Ragnar.
What?
I promised His Majesty I would hide the truth from you. Forgive me. Destra was indeed your mother. That much was no lie. She was a commoner in the Crown City.
A woman of little means and low station, but possessed of unparalleled intellect and boundless affection. He would often sneak out into the city in disguise. Fate united them on one of those evenings, and they fell in love. Thus, you were brought into the world.
He wished to marry her, but her low station made that unthinkable. In time, the Royalists found out and plotted her murder.
So Lord Simon took her as his wife to keep her safe.
And so I was born the heir of House Wolford.
Sadly, your dear mother passed not long after you were born. It was she who named you. It was the one thing she was able to pass down to you. And now I leave you this.
The royal signet.
Only one of Glenbrook's royal line may wear it. I was to keep it until the time was right. And so it is now.
Father, you leave me completely unmoored. What am I to do with this unspeakable knowledge?
I leave you with a heavy burden. This I know better than any. Be strong, Serenoa. Forge your own path. Lead the people. Keep watch over him, Benedict.
I will.
No, Father. Stay with me. Please.
All this and still, you call me father. I am proud of you, my son.
Please don't go. Father! Please!
So Patriat meant to eliminate House Wolford to protect the crown.
Yes, he admitted as much himself.
I can assure you he acted alone. King Roland was not a party to the plot.
That is fortunate, yes. But the mere fact of it could tear Glenbrook apart, were it to be made known. Lord Simon's assassination must be kept secret, my lord.
You would have me say his illness claimed him, then?
I thank you for your assistance, Milo. Speak not a word of this to anyone.
I shan't. For the good of House Wolford.
I cannot fathom why he thought us to be enemies. We mean no harm to the royal family.
Misplaced as his fears may be, we must stand ready to defend ourselves, in word and deed, from any who may reach similar conclusions. That includes King Roland himself.
You heard Anna. Roland didn't issue the order. What are you plotting, Benedict?
I seek only to ensure House Wolfort's survival. Lord Simon was murdered. Other enemies may well be within our ranks as we speak. They must be stopped at all costs, no matter who they are.
Can I count on your continued guidance, Benedict?
Glenbrook's throne is yours for the taking. You have the claim and the might to back it up. Your Lord Father beseeched you to forge your own path and lead the people. Might you not best accomplish that if you were king?
Perhaps. But I would sooner fall upon my own sword than usurp the throne from my friend. The truth of my lineage does not leave this room. I shall keep it hidden along with this ring.
As you wish, my lord. I trust your judgment.
I come bearing a missive from King Roland. He requests your presence in the Crown City immediately. The Esfrosti survivors are on the move.
They leave me no time to mourn. Lead the way.
Roland, Benedict, and Frederica regroup back in the capital. But what they experienced while they were away could very well alter the course of destiny itself.
Is there something on your mind, Roland?
Serenoa, I do not know what I should do.
Did something happen in the capital?
No, that problem has been dealt with. I've made sure those damned royalists will never cause trouble again.
Was such harsh punishment truly necessary?
Of course it was. When they should have been helping to rebuild the kingdom, they instead profited off the people's hardship. And on top of that, they sought to string me up as their puppet king.
I understand, but...
You know what they told me? They said that is what Glenbrook truly is. That it must be ruled with the royalists' careful mediation between the royal family and their loyal subjects. They said good kings need not think for themselves. They said my father and my brother understood that.
Even if that is true, you have the power to change it.
I tried. That is the entire reason I took the throne. But nothing has changed. No matter how many corrupt aristocrats I've cast out. This kingdom has always been broken. As Frost's invasion just ensured we could never put the pieces back together. I do not have the strength to reconcile a land and people torn apart by hatred and greed. I cannot give Glenbrook what it needs, king though I may be.
Roland.
Apologies, my friend. I should not burden you with my woes.
You burden me with nothing. But if you are struggling...
All is well. Trust me. So long as you are by my side.
Serenoa, I would speak with you before we meet with the others.
Is something the matter? I was led to believe the Rosellan village escaped all but unscathed.
Pray, look at this.
A book?
We recovered it from a band of brigands. It once belonged to the Esfrosti archives. It was authored by one Orlea, my mother. Inside is the truth about the Roselle. Nay, about all Norzelia.
The truth? How would your mother have that knowledge?
The Rosellan people have long passed down the secret of the salt. My mother was a chosen keeper of that history. In ancient times, the Roselle lived in the southernmost reaches of Norzelia, in a place called Centralia. It is said Centralia was on the shore of a vast expanse of salt water they called the sea. Back then, the Norzelia we know was at the bottom of that sea, but a cataclysm dried up all the water, and thus this land came to be. The salt crystallized and sank into the earth, the very earth we now walk upon.
Salt beneath our feet.
After the cataclysm, only one small lake of salt remained. War raged on and on as people fought to control it. The Roselle tried to stop the fighting by digging up a giant pillar of salt to show everyone the secret they had long kept. But Hyzant, whose power over Norzelia came from controlling the lake and the salt it produced, could not allow the truth to get out. They captured the Roselle, branded them criminals who tried to seize control of the salt for themselves, and confined them to the lake.
And what of the pillar?
Hyzant stole it and hid it, inside the very statue of the goddess that towers over the source.
How can you be certain?
During the uprising, my mother broke the statue and recovered a fragment of the pillar within.
The salt crystal found in the Rosellan village. Incredible. If what you say is true, the teachings are a lie. This will shake Hyzant to its very foundations.
And we would be able to free the Roselle from their imprisonment at the source.
With so much at stake, we must be careful in what we do now. Frederica, I would ask for more time to think this through.
Of course. I have every faith in House Wolford. And in you.
That is the extent of what happened during our various endeavors. The passing of my Lord Father, the Royalist scandal, and the book that revealed the truth about the Roselle and the salt. It is time we consider what we shall do to overcome these obstacles facing us.
I still cannot believe how quickly Lord Simon's condition worsened.
It is most devastating. Serenoa, did your father say nothing else to you? Before he...
He bade me lead House Wolford well.
I see. Then we must all do what we can to help you honor that request.
Your Majesty, what do you plan to do about the Royalists who misappropriated supplies?
As far as I've been able to discern, those involved acted out of greed and self-interest. They must all be punished. Nothing less than exile from the kingdom or execution will suffice.
But there are those among them who support the Glenbrook line. Will that not impact your governance?
Perhaps. But to pardon their crimes would kindle the people's ire. We must make an example of them. To appease the people. To make clear the consequences of engaging in such foolhardy behavior.
Did something else happen in the capital, King Roland?
Nothing you need concern yourself with. But I must say, I was shocked to learn of that Rosellan legend. Do you suppose the contents of that book could be true?
The part about their homeland, Centralia, that sits upon a vast saltwater sea? That of the untapped salt crystals beneath Norzelia? Or that, in order to monopolize the salt trade, Hyzant fabricated the Rosel's sins? That the pillar of salt Hyzant stole from the Rosel is hidden within the statue of the goddess? If any of it is true, it would turn everything we know on its head. It would mean the teachings of the Holy State are not but lies.
It does sound unbelievable, but we have already seen part of this legend for ourselves.
The crystal from the Rosellan village?
That crystal is a fragment from the pillar within the statue of the goddess. One my mother obtained during the uprising.
It fits perfectly.
Apparently, Lady Orlea penned the book detailing the legend for Frederica.
She did. She enchanted it so no one could open it, but left me the key to break the spell. This pendant.
I doubt a mother would go to such lengths to lie to her daughter.
Then we agree the legend contains at least a seed of truth.
Your Majesty, we have received word that the survivors of the Duchy's army are amassing.
What? Where?
At the Grand Norzellian mines. But we cannot be sure what they are doing. None of our scouts have returned.
These frosty dogs. We will speak later, Serenoa. First, we must put down whatever the Duchy is planning at the mines. I need you and your people beside me.
Of course. We shall ready ourselves for the battle at once.
Extraction is nearly finished. We've secured the amount we were told. Seems such a waste to just leave the rest.
Don't think Archduke Gustadolf gives two shites. Hurry it up. We need to be done here before Glenbrook catches on to us.
Sir.
Roland and House Wolffort succeed in reclaiming Glenbrook, but they cannot rest easy, for new dilemmas threaten to tear the kingdom apart. For one, the secret of Serenoa's birth come to light with Lord Simon's passing. Meanwhile, the newly crowned King Roland struggles to reconcile his ideals with reality after punishing the Royalists. Finally, there's the truth about the Roselle and the untapped salt crystals buried within the earth, revealed in a book to Frederica from her late mother. None of these revelations have an easy solution. As all parties discuss the matters, they receive word that the survivors of the Isfrosti army are gathering at the Grand Norzellian mines. Forced to put all else aside to focus on driving out their foe, Serenoa and his comrades steel themselves for battle.
The remnants of these frosty forces are gathering at the Grand Norzellian mines. Or perhaps I should say they are rallying there, preparing to defend it to the last.
Something tells me you're right.
Gustadolf may have used Lord Dragan's murder as pretext for invading Glenbrook. Yet I believe his true aim was to seize control, not of our kingdom, but of the mines.
Once Glenbrook fell to them, Esfrost did indeed continue mining operations, with notable zeal. Apparently, they transported huge shipments of what they excavated to the Duchy, too.
You mean iron ore?
One would assume as much, but we do not know for certain. They say only a chosen few were allowed to have anything to do with the mining or transport.
Odd, ain't it? Granted, the iron from the Grand Norzelian mines is supposed to be decent stuff.
But the Duchy has access to plenty of other iron mines of comparable quality. They've certainly no need to go to such pains to obtain resources from this one.
You reckon there's something special about it?
What my mother wrote of must be true.
I've returned from scouting the Grand Norzelian mines. There were no signs of miners or couriers anywhere. The enemy's numbers do not appear that great, but the soldiers were occupied with some task within the mine. I cannot say exactly how many they are.
Thank you, Hewitt. Well done. Well, there you have it. The Esfrosti army is scheming something at the mines. Whatever they are planning, we cannot allow them to continue unchallenged.
Then let us reclaim the Grand Norzelian mines. And in doing so, we shall discover the Duchy's aims in due course.
Alrighty, I'm gonna call this an episode. We'll probably do one more episode before we do the golden ending, which I should hopefully wrap up today.